Alrighty folks, welcome to my second YouTube video. Hopefully you guys like this as much or better than the previous one. This one I'm going to try to make pretty useful hopefully to the community. I'm not going to talk too much in the beginning because I have a lot to go over. So I'm going to try to make this quick, so excuse if I go a little faster at parts. I have a lot to go over. Just to summarize really quick, the point of this video is to show you a bunch, if not all, of the emulation station themes and what they're capable of. I may not go over every variant just because of time. I did a previous version of this video and it was 15 minutes and I had only gone through like 10 or 12 of the themes. So I'm going to try to go fast, but I'm going to try to show you as much information as I can about every theme. Just to give you a quick background, this is running on my PC, Emulation Station, a custom version of it. If anybody wants any info, I can certainly post the links or the details of what I'm running. I do traditionally run this on a Pi. I just found it easier and smoother to go between themes and do everything on the actual PC. So as we start, this first theme here is called Art Book. It's actually one of my favorites. I like it a lot because it supports a lot of stuff, and even if it doesn't support a system, it actually still looks pretty decent. So we'll start really quick. You got arcade, Atari. I do have 25 systems, just so you know, on here. So you're going to see that kind of a spread on all the different themes, so you can get an idea of what systems are and are not supported. So you can see here it supports Game & Watch. It supports all this stuff. It's really nice, but I'll show you one in a second that it doesn't support, and it still looks okay. PSP Minis is not supported, but you almost couldn't tell because it still jives in pretty decently. What you will notice if I go into the actual games list, the word up there, PlayStation, and not the whole word PlayStation. So it's actually not supported here, but it still doesn't really look that bad. It still, you know, formats pretty decently and everything can still be shown. So not a bad deal. This is actually one of the themes that it's okay that it does that. It also doesn't support TG16 CD, but this is an issue you might have, or I've had. TG16 CD and TG CD, depending on how you title it, certain themes will support it one way but not the other. So if there's a theme you really like, look in their files. You can see it may support it one way but not the other, and if this is a system you use, so you may be able to still make this work. But again, with this theme, it's not that bad because you can still see it. It just doesn't look as pretty. And it's really just a games list. It does support individual custom collections, as you can see. So I have two. I have Donkey Kong and I have Final Fantasy. And you can see they look really nice and smooth. Supports all games, favorites, and last played. So nice there. I only got one favorite currently, but an awesome game nonetheless. But this one I really like because when you go to the different systems, you got a nice big box art on the side, you get a video, and then you got the games list on the right. It's nice and smooth. It shows all the little keys like favorite and random and launch, and it's got little cues of all that stuff, which I think is really cool, and it's super smooth. It runs even this good on the Pi. So again, really good support with this theme. The next theme we're going to go to is Big Wood. Big Wood is one of the themes that does support pretty much everything. I don't think there's a single thing I have in here that it doesn't support. So I can fly through things like Game & Watch. Let's see, what was another one? PSP Minis, Super Famicom. This is one you'll find a lot of them. Famicom and Super Famicom, they like you to just put them in with the systems. I like to have them separated. A lot of themes don't like that. TurboGrafx CD, as I have a TurboGrafx 16 CD, it supports it. It supports individual collections, all games, favorites, and last played. And the games list is not bad. Arcade was a bad example. It's not bad. It kind of throws it like this with this little logo down there. Has a cool little font. It's got a logo, the wheel art in the video. And if I'm going so fast on PC, you can't see that the box art is behind the video. So that's that one. Again, I'm going to fly through these kind of quick just because I have a lot to go over. Carbon, everybody should know Carbon. Carbon's been updated pretty frequently, so you'll see it doesn't support the Famicom, the Super Famicom. It also doesn't support PSP Minis, and it doesn't support the TurboGrafx 16, at least in this format. But it does have collections, all games, and favorites. This one groups the collections together, which is, I actually kind of like this format better, just because the console doesn't get crazy if you have a lot of collections. But if I go in, it does have full video support, and it has the wheel art up the top, which is nice. So again, another one. This is one that comes on there, so you really got nothing to lose. It's not like you really have to download it. But it's nice and smooth. Supports mostly. So there you go. Let's see, Carbon Centered. This one I'm not even going to show you because it's basically the same idea, but everything's centered. Doesn't support video and doesn't support all the collections, all games last played. This is one, it has supported last games, favorites, and all games like the other one, and collections, and they're individualized like this, or put in one folder, which I like. But it, again, doesn't support certain systems like Super Famicom, Famicom, and TurboGrafx CD. It's not a huge deal, kind of like Artbook, where it's not like it looks terrible, it still themes it. It just doesn't have the logo on the top, and then right here it doesn't have like the little controller console image thing. So not the end of the world, but again, another one. I happen to like this one because there's no metadata. I actually like not having metadata in the video, but preference. Let's see. Clean look. This one hasn't been updated, so I'm going to fly through this one. If I remember correctly, yeah, it doesn't support any of the new updates, collections, TurboGrafx. Doesn't even support regular TurboGrafx 16. And it doesn't support PSP minis. Let's see. It doesn't support Game & Watch. But so not fully updated, but not a bad theme. It also doesn't do video, if I remember correctly. Yeah, this one doesn't support video snaps either. So CRT, this was, if I remember correctly, one of the first ones that supported video snaps. It also supports all games last played and favorites. Doesn't support TurboGrafx 16 CD in that format. It also doesn't support PSP minis. So you'll find that as a commonality with a lot of them. They don't support those. The games list nice and clean. Again, my arcade is broken, so ignore the fact that there's no snaps here. That's not the theme's fault. It's just the way I set it up on my PC. But it's cool. This one's got the wheel art, the box, and a snap. I don't know if it's showing through on my video, but there is like a grid pattern in the background. I don't know if you can see it. It might just be my brightness that I can't see it in the recording. It's not a pure black background. But it's nice. Nice, and another one that's smooth, that supports a lot of stuff. But like I said, pretty updated. Just those certain systems that a lot of them don't like. This also groups them together in one thing like the other one did, which I kind of like that way. Let's see. Cygnus. This one's got some updates, if I remember correctly. So it'll support certain stuff, but not everything. It does have custom collections. It has all games and last played. It doesn't support TurboGrafx CD. And this one's kind of a tough one because if it doesn't support it, you just get a big black screen like PSP minis here and stuff. I think it's just those two kind of tried and true that aren't supported. But otherwise, Game & Watch it does. So it supports most of the other ones, which is cool. I'm not a big fan of this whole one-page thing just because I like seeing a little more in the advance, not just one system at a time. But, you know, nice little theme that's done pretty well. Let's see. Dark. This one, I don't know, again, if it's a brightness thing, but even the supported systems, other than like arcade, last played, favorites, and all games, these ones are nice and bright, but even the ones that are supported, like Atari, you can barely read, to me, at least on my screen, that's Atari 2600. This is Atari 5200, which is oddly not supported. It's one of the few themes I know that doesn't support Atari 5200. But otherwise, it also doesn't support PSP Mini, or that's Famicom, sorry. Famicom, Super Famicom, it doesn't support PSP Minis, and even the ones it does support, like I said, are really dark. So I don't know if it's just my brightness, so I don't want to blame the theme for that. But for me, it wouldn't work because there's a lot of systems it doesn't support. It doesn't even support TurboGrafx 16 in its native form, not even the CD version. But it's kind of cool, though, because it looks almost like one of those themes that would look good on a small screen because everything's nice and big and it does support snaps and stuff. So if you don't have all the systems that are crazy, but you want it to support like all games, last played, and favorites, not a bad little theme. Let's see. Eudora updated. This one's nice. I like its nice, clean format. It has been updated, support custom collections, all games, and favorites. If I remember correctly, yeah, this one doesn't support videos. That was one thing that I didn't like. So if you're not a video snap person, nice little theme that's nice and clean and supports a ton of systems. Like, I don't think there's really any systems other than PSP Minis and the TurboGrafx 16 one, CD. Otherwise, it supports everything else. So you're going to find that as a trend. Those two systems, a lot of them don't support. So if you don't use those two, then you're probably finding 90% of these themes. This one I love. This is not this particular theme, but I love these theme set that Ruckage made. It's the Mini. They're mirrored off of the Mini systems. You'll find NES Mini, Famicom Mini, SNES Mini, but nice and smooth ones. I really like the smoothness. They don't support like Game & Watch. This one doesn't. It doesn't support PSP Minis. It doesn't support either the TurboGrafx 16 or collections. His other one I'll go over in a little bit does support collections and stuff, which is nice. But I like this one because it's nice and smooth. I like that if you fly through a games list. If I go here to Atari, if I fly through the games list, you see the box art, but if I stop on a box, it'll play back the video, which is really cool. And these themes are super customizable too, which I like. So you'll see not as much game system support, but a really, really nice theme. He hasn't updated this as much as some of his other themes. Flat is a really cool theme. There's two flat and flat dark. His flat, he has the up and down carousel like this, and you'll notice there's a bunch of systems that it doesn't support. Like, it doesn't have, I think, all the updates. Like, all games last played and favorites are completely gone there, recents and stuff. But the ones he does support, this is a nice, clean, like, layout. I like this because he's got the logos up in the corner, and it's nice font, and the video kind of format and everything. I think this is really cool. This, I like his idea that it's the up and down carousel because it's different, but again, they're super dark. I don't know if it's just my monitor, but there you have it. Flat dark is actually the one I like better. I like the carousel of flat because this one uses the old traditional carousel, but again, doesn't support certain systems. No surprises there. But what's weird, this one is like broken on my system. It wasn't when I was testing. Like, I was playing with this build early on when the creator was making it, and but now for some reason, like, the logo is right there where it's supposed to be in the top right corner, like the old flat, and the video is really off kilter. But it could just be something weird with mine. It does this on the Pi and on my PC, so I don't know if it's something that was broken with an update he did, or I don't know. I don't want to blame the theme guy because it was working at one point and it was really nice. But I got another one that's really nice and clean. I just don't know what the little glitch is there. And like I said, a lot of systems aren't supported, and it hasn't been updated even for the default collections and stuff. So flat dark. GBZ35, and there's GBZ35 dark as well. These ones, again, a lot of system support, you'll notice, but he has updated it for the all games last played in custom collections, and he has them grouped in like this. And it does support videos. Again, another one of those kind of big themes that I think would look cool on a small screen. But certain systems, like, it doesn't support Atari 5200, Famicom Game & Watch, doesn't support PSP Minis, doesn't support Super Famicom, PC Engine, or TurboGrafx 16. So either of those two. Let's see. This is Hursty Blue. This one's awesome. Dwayne Hursty and David Marty. Who David Marty, everybody should know if you're into the community, he did Motion Blue. This is kind of the Motion Blue setup, but with Hursty's themes in the background. As you can see, the logo on the top right corner there. This one, like all of David's themes you'll see, supports everything. Like, every system's in here. PSP Minis even, which you saw a lot of them don't support. The Super Famicoms, like, he's really good at supporting every system. It's now updated to custom collections, which is nice. I love that his game list is nice and big on the side there, so you can see everything. It's got a nice big video there, and every one of his things are super themed. You can see, like, with the big picture on the side of the video, which looks nice. All custom artwork done, which is really, really nice. And this is a really good one to showcase kind of a setup, which is cool. But yeah, there's Hursty Blue. Indent. This is one I'm not really familiar with. I've never natively run this myself. As you can see, it doesn't support Game & Watch. But the ones it does support, this is a pretty cool little kind of setup. It's another one that doesn't support video snaps apparently, but, you know, nice and smooth looking. Doesn't support PSP Mini. So these themes I tend to stay away from because they look really jarring if the system isn't supported. It's not like Carbon or Artbook or stuff where it still looks okay even though it doesn't support them. You can see it wasn't updated for all games last played or favorites either. So one that just hasn't been updated. I.O. Another one I'm not familiar with. I don't really know a lot about this theme either, but looks like last played. My favorites, full all games, I guess. My collection's weird wording of them, but they're all supported. No, oh, nice big box art. That's pretty cool. Doesn't support video snaps, so if you're just a box art kind of guy, looks pretty cool. Again, not all the systems are supported. TurboGrafx CD is not supported. Super Famicom's not supported. PSP Minis is not supported. Famicom, obviously. But otherwise, if you're not a Snap person, not a bad little theme. Let's see, get out of I.O. Kids. This is another David Marty theme. It's one of, I believe it's his newest theme that he did. This one, if you've got kids that play your system, it's pretty cool. It uses the new up and down carousel. And again, like David Marty stuff I already mentioned earlier, it supports everything. Like, every system is in here. All games favorites last played because it's a newer one, obviously. I really like the nod he did. If you look in the top left corner, the high scores, he puts the name of a lot of big-time people in the community, which is pretty cool. Like, you can see Ron Pixel there, you know, Mad Little Pixel. Jamin, sorry, messed that up. Sorry, that would be ETA Prime. So you can see a cool little nod he did of that, which is Dwayne Hursty's there on the top, Ray's image. So which is a cool little nod there, and it's nice because he put the character logos for the different companies. So like Nintendo's got Mario, and Mega Drive, Genesis for us in the U.S. has Sonic and Alex the Kid over there. And if you go in there, nice big snap there. It's got a little bit of, the info down at the bottom, the metadata, and a nice big games list on the right. So a super nice and clean one there that supports, again, everything. David Marty's are good for that. Magazine Madness, this is, as far as I know, was a collaboration between David Marty and Dwayne Hurst again, because David Marty kind of does the ES stuff, and Dwayne Hurst does the track mode stuff. So he, I think the theme was basically made by Dwayne Hurst, but David Marty made it work on Emulation Station. So really cool. Oh, and I didn't show this earlier, but if you go into the settings, UI settings, I have it on Instant for transition style, which gives it this nice, looks like it's flying through the pages here, and this is smooth on my PC. I did have to, on a lot of the themes, adjust some of the settings. Like I have VRAM limit, you can see it on 1000 on my PC, but I have it on, I think, 120 on a lot of themes. And then I also messed with the RAM split, which actually makes a lot of these run really good, because they're pretty heavy duty on the layout. But this is another one that, like all of David Marty's and Dwayne Hurst themes, they support everything. They have custom collections, Donkey Kong, Final Fantasy, all games favorites last played. This one's nice and clean. It's just cool because it's got like this magazine layout like this. Like here, if we go to Donkey Kong. The only thing that to this theme that's to my liking is I kind of like a bigger games list. There's only, like what, 12 or something games that show up in that list. But really, really well done. If you just want something that's super, again, like Hursty themes or like David Marty's themes that show off what the system can do, this is really cool like that. So theme that, again, supports pretty much everything and looks really cool. Maximus Pi. Maximus Pi. Yeah, wow, I can't speak today. Sorry. This is a David Marty theme, a full page one. And again, no surprise here, it supports everything. All games last played favorites, like everything. The custom collections are grouped together in this one. So if I go in here, it's got Donkey Kong and Final Fantasy, and I could scroll through a nice big list. This was made off of, forgive me because I don't know the exact history of it, but it was themed off of something. An old, like, PC emulation kind of front-end thing, if I remember correctly. So that's why it has this kind of look to it. But again, supports everything, nice and smooth, has video snaps and everything, pretty cool. Let's see, Metapixel. This is off a variation off the Pixel theme. Metapixel being, I think, more towards the metadata and stuff like that. Yeah, it's got metadata down there, but it hasn't been updated in a while, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it doesn't support video snaps, doesn't have all games last played favorites, collections, even all the systems aren't supported, PSP minis and stuff like that. Game & Watch, no Famicom, but if you don't not into all the new age stuff, it looks pretty cool. Jarring there. But another one there, Metapixel. Let's see, Metro. This is one that I'm, again, not really familiar with a lot of its stuff, but under construction, so apparently a lot of the stuff doesn't support a lot of the stuff, but kind of a cool little look to it. It does support video snaps, so you can see, but I'll kind of fly through this if you guys need to pause on certain screens because I'm going through kind of quickly. But there you go, there's another one it doesn't support. PSP minis, not a surprise, TurboGrafx 16, but it does support collections. So you got Final Fantasy and Donkey Kong, again. Excuse that some of them don't have the snaps. My collection's not perfect, but snaps and box art. So there's another one. Let's see, Minimal. This is another one. I ran. This one's kind of cool. It's one of the newer ones, I think. Again, smooth. You can see I can fly through it here. It does support not all the systems, but again, a lot of them don't support Game & Watch, Famicom, Super Famicom, TG16, PSP minis. Happen to all be kind of ones that are tougher for a lot of them. But it's kind of cool. He's actually redoing this theme too, redesigning it. He was just going to update it, but I guess a lot of people were kind of telling him why not make a different theme, because some people like this layout. So you might see another kind of variation of this come out later. But wheel art, info, video snap, and again, supports custom collections, all games and favorites. Custom collections are grouped together like a lot of the other themes. Let's see, let's go NBBA. One I'm not familiar with as well, so we'll kind of go along this one as we go. That is, if my thing doesn't crash. So it doesn't support favorites, last games, and recents. Also apparently doesn't support video art, or video snap, sorry. Doesn't support Famicom, Game & Watch. Let's see, doesn't support PSP minis. Super Famicom, PC Engine, or TurboGrafx, or all that stuff. So a lot of systems that it doesn't support. Again, probably not, just an older one. NES Mini, this was one of the first Ruckage themes that I installed, kind of like the Famicom Mini I showed you a little bit ago. This one, I'm from the US, so I like, obviously, the NES version, but he actually added Game & Watch support in this one. If I remember correctly, the Famicom one didn't have it. He doesn't support PSP Minis, and he doesn't support the custom collection. Wait, no, TurboGrafx 16 CD, sorry. This one does have the updates to custom collections. Again, groups them together. This one, like Famicom Mini, you can fly through them and you get the box art, but if you stay on them for a second, you'll actually get the video snap. So I love this. This set of themes are really nice. You got all games last played, so you get the idea there. Let's see. Pixel, this is a variation of Metapixel. Well, the original that Metapixel was based off of. Sorry, I believe. I might be wrong on that, so, sorry if I'm wrong there. But another one that wasn't updated for any of the supports. You're going to see no support for, the common systems. I won't bore you. Keep going over individual of these, but Game & Watch is actually there. No video snaps, let's see, Showcase, another David Marty theme. So no surprise, this is going to support everything that you throw at it. I've run a lot of David Marty's themes, so I'm familiar with them. I beta tested a couple of things for him, and beta tested some of the versions of Motion Blue. So no surprise, his supports everything, even TurboGrafx CD, which a lot don't. Custom collections, like Donkey Kong. This one's cool because it gives you, again, the wheel art, gives you the video snap, gives you the nice big game list. My PC's being weird. It's lagging a couple times there. But as you can see, so again, support for everything. Got that nice up and down wheel, which I really like, which is cool. So there's Showcase. Simple. One I'm, again, not really familiar with, but hey, we're going through the list and doing them all. No recents all played collections. No TurboGrafx. No PC Engine. No PSP Minis. Let's see. No Game & Watch. So not another one that's not updated. Also appears to not do snaps. So there's that one. Simple Dark, probably, I'm assuming, just the same thing with a darker variant. Yeah, just a little bit darker, it looks like, in the background of some of them. Yep, that's definitely darker. But again, no video snaps, and it's probably going to be the same thing in all the systems it doesn't support. Yeah, there you go. So, Simple Big Art. All right, so let's see. Again, same thing. Certain systems not supported. These are the tried and true. So if you don't play these systems, you won't care. Also isn't updated for last played all games and favorites. Also doesn't do video support. Okay. Let's see. Super NES Mini. This is my favorite. I almost want to skip over this one and go over this later, but I'm going to do it in order. I love this theme. You'll notice mine looks a little different than yours might if you just install the theme. He gives you the option to customize a lot of stuff with this theme. So you can choose, I have blurred out background image behind him, you can see as I fly through the systems. So that looks pretty cool. He doesn't support Game & Watch. Again, I don't normally run Game & Watch, so it's not a big deal for me because I do usually, this is my default theme. He also lets you choose US or Europe, so you get Genesis or Mega Drive. You also get PC Engine or TurboGrafx 16, depending on the region you're in. Doesn't support PSP Minis, doesn't support TurboGrafx 16 CD. Don't usually use those, so I don't care. But here, if we go into custom collections, it's got them nice. I love this because you can actually choose all the elements. Like you'll notice above the box art, I have genre, then I have below the box art, I have rating, played, number of players, and on the right side, I have the metadata with the published and developed. All this is interchangeable. You can choose genre to be on the right, the left, the box art to be on the left or the right. You get super customization, and whether you choose the US or European version will change if you notice the bottom, the power and reset buttons, those of you who are familiar with the US version, it'll change to look more like a Famicom, or Super Famicom, sorry. And the buttons go to the top on the Famicom version, where all the buttons are on the bottom on the US version. But again, this one you fly through it, you get the box art. If you stop on one of the games, you're going to get the video that plays back. So I love this theme because it runs really smooth on the Pi. It looks really good. It's super customized. Other than those few systems I don't normally run, it seems to handle a lot, pretty much the most common stuff. So that's cool. So Super NES Mini, Space, one I'm not familiar with either. So we'll both learn this one as we go, all of us. No Famicom, Game & Watch. No, let's see, no PSP Minis, no Super Famicom, no PC Engine, TurboGrafx CD, or collections. But it does support all games, favorites, and last played. Recent games, as I call it in this one. So, video snaps. easy enough to read and all that stuff. So there he goes there, that one. Whoa, that's arcade. So it supports it, but something's wrong with the logo there. All right, that could be my system, so ignore that. So let's see, spare. Doesn't support arcade. That's right, some of the systems, that is true, they don't support arcade, because I put all of my arcade systems in one. So I have CPS 1, 2, 3, and MAME all in one, just because it's easier to kind of categorize them for me. Famicom Game & Watch doesn't support. Let's see. PSP Minis doesn't support. Super Famicom doesn't support. PC Engine, TurboGrafx 16 collections, all games last played and favorites. So it doesn't support all those. And it doesn't support video snaps, apparently. No, doesn't seem to. All right. Let's see. Steampunk. This is another David Marty theme, so not a surprise. We'll fly through this one. It's going to support everything. It's got the up and down list, and it supports every system you can throw at it, so no surprise there. This is a kind of a cool theme, too. He groups these together in one. You can fly through the list nice and clean here. Let's see. We'll go to Atari. You can go here, and you can see you got the wheel at the top there. Nice game list on the right. I love the big games list because I want to be able to read everything. I don't want to have to scroll. That's my only thing about Artbook that some of us in the forum have talked about, the developer, that we want him to widen the games list, but we understand that it might be harder the way his theme's designed. At least I do. So here we go. Sterling. This is a Dwayne Hurst theme. I don't even know if Dave Marty helped him with this one that I know of, but he might have. But I know this is designed by Dwayne Hurst. This is another one. It'll remind you of the Big Wood, because Big Wood used these same logos as far as I know. Just, in a different way, obviously. So again, no surprise. Like all the Dwayne Hurst and the David Marty ones, it supports everything you throw at it, including individual custom collections, not thrown into one category. But you can see video snaps. This one I'm not going to spend a lot of time on because, it works with everything. Not a surprise there. Super Display, this one I ran for a while. It's actually a really nice theme that kind of showcases and reminds me of a track mode, because it kind of has that track mode kind of vibe, at least what I knew of a track mode when I ran it. I didn't run a track mode for very long because I happen to like ES better. But supports all games last played favorites, individual collections, TurboGrafx CD. This one I believe, PSP Minis. This one I believe supports everything. Game & Watch, everything here. So you can see it. We'll go into a custom collection here. This one kind of reminds me of a combo, too, of Motion Blue when it first came, because I had that list on the left side, and Hursty Blue. So I like the games list is decent size. Nice big snap. You'll notice that it's got the big character logos in the back, kind of like Motion Blue did. Or Hursty Blue, sorry. So got that nice flair to it. Looks really cool. So this is another cool one. It's got the up and down list, which I really like. Let's see. Turtle Pie, one I'm not familiar with, so we'll learn as we go. No Famicom Game & Watch. Let's see. Does support these. Neo Geo Arcade puts it in a little thing that's interesting. Nintendo NES, no PSP Minis. Let's see. No TurboGrafx CD, no collections, all games last played or favorites. And so it's just an older theme again. Nothing wrong with the theme. It's just older. It doesn't support video snaps or anything. TV, again, a new one for me, so we'll learn together. This is an up and down. Doesn't support Atari 7800. Doesn't support Game & Watch. Let's see. No PSP Minis. No Super Famicom. No PC Engine. No TurboGrafx 16 CD. No all games last played favorites, because that took forever to get through. And no arcade support. Does support video snaps. Nice big games list. So there you go, that one. Zoid. One, again, I'm not familiar with. Never ran it. Okay. Kind of a carbon looking, side-by-side thing up there. Doesn't support Famicom. Doesn't support PSP Minis, Super Famicom, or TurboGrafx CD collections, all games last played or favorites. And doesn't appear to have video support either. Okay, there you go. Let's see. It's Comic Book SE Wheel Art. I love this one because it's another one. TMNT Turtle Guy. Sorry if I'm missing a part of that, but I believe that's his name. This theme is awesome because it supports everything. Like all games last played favorites, my collections, TurboGrafx CD, like every system that I have it supports, and probably way more. I believe his supports like 40 systems or something. But if I go through here, this got a nice big games list. He's individually made the little logos of the guys there. You can see the box arts there, the logos at the top. It's got video snaps. I mean, everything. This one's just really, really nice if you, again, want to show off and you want it to support everything you throw at it, which is really nice. Let's see. I believe we're almost done. RetroRama. These last couple, for some reason, were out of alphabetical order. I don't know why. I have them all named exactly how they are written, how you're reading them. But here, so we'll try RetroRama. This is another one that's a full screen kind of one, so it's going to be jarring if certain systems aren't supported. But here, we'll go through the systems here. That would be PSP Minis, I'm guessing. Yes, it doesn't support PSP Minis. It doesn't. Let's see. There's a couple I know. TurboGrafx CD doesn't support all games. Or the collections it doesn't support. Sorry, so it's a little jarring there when it doesn't. All games it does. This one's nice because the ones it does support, if you don't use all that extra stuff, collections and stuff, this is kind of cool looking. So it's got all kinds of elements in the background. Ignore arcade. My snaps aren't working, but looks nice and neat. This is one thing I noticed that I run DS on mine. So let's go to DS for a second. I didn't showcase all of them, but a lot of them, because the dual video there, because it's up and down like that, they look kind of funny. But nice. He actually had to do an update, I believe, that fixed this, because one of the versions, it kind of bled into the bottom of the controller down there where it said best played with. But kind of cool little thing that he set up. I like that one, RetroRama, because he fills doodles. Apparently he custom drew all those, and they look really good. This is another one by Phil's Doodles, I remember correctly. Space Oddity, this is his newest one. This one's really cool because it's got a lot of support for updated stuff because it's obviously a new one. Kind of reminds me of a track mode with the wheel that kind of goes like this. And if I remember correctly, it supports everything. Like all the different systems you throw at it. Yeah, there you go. All games, last played, favorites. No systems aren't in here. As you can see, I'm going through. Every system has an image of it. So if I go into it too, nice big video in the background. Nice big games list on the side. Like, this one's really cool if you like this kind of theme, the space, and you just want to showcase everything, and you want a really big video, which is cool. So another kind of cool theme, a newer one. Let's see if we got any more here. Art book, we're actually back to the beginning, so there we go. We'll see how long this one took. If you want to know my favorites, I really like Art Book and SNES Mini. Those are my two kind of go-tos that I go back and forth between. This one because it's buttery smooth on the Pi, and even if it doesn't support a system, it still looks okay. And then SNES Mini just because I really, really like the work that Ruckage did in that one, and I love the amount of customization you can do with SNES Mini. I hope I didn't forget any themes in this. I think I downloaded them all. There was like 70, 71 of them, something like that. So it was kind of work because I downloaded my Pi and then I moved them to my my PC so that way I'd have the Pi versions of them. And one thing I'll tell you that I learned in the process, if I download them from GitHub directly on my PC, they're smaller than they are in the Pi. I don't know a lot about software. I'm not a software engineer, so it's probably just me uneducated and being stupid. But there's got to be something extra in the RetroPie that's needed because, like, Super Display is like 256 megabytes downloaded directly off of GitHub. But if I get it off the Pi, it's like 500 megabytes. It's like double the size. So it's a ginormous theme on RetroPie. So needless to say, if you install all these themes, it's like 3 gigabytes on the Pi. It's like a lot of space to run all these themes. Most people probably wouldn't. I just did it to showcase it. But yeah, again, this is my go-to personally. I like the group together collections like this. Again, I don't normally have TurboGrafx CD in some of these systems that are on here. So mine's usually a nice smooth scrolling through all the different systems. I love that I can fly through here. So I won't keep boring you with this, but hopefully this video helped some of you guys, and it's something that you guys can all use for the community to know which themes support what capabilities. I really hope you guys like this, and I hope you find it useful. And you know, if you like it, hopefully you'll give me a thumbs up. If you loved it and you want to see more content, I know I don't upload a lot. Maybe that's a good thing for people. I don't bore you with the crazy things coming up telling you of new videos, but you know, subscribe to me if you like it, and hey, please comment and tell me anything you liked, you didn't like. Maybe you want me to do a follow-up video on some certain themes or certain things, or if you really want me to run this on my Pi to show you if it lags, or tell you the settings I use on my Pi to make sure they don't lag. Hey, share anything you like, and have a good day, guys.